Hey, Bonnie.
Okay. Any questions? Our banners, you may want to know where our banners are. We've got 3 of them. One is behind you. One is at the front gate there where it says Garden Dog on the other side. The third one is on the Tacoma Rainiers side, right next to the dugout.
People running a popcorn up here. They should know there's popcorn. I think there's a tray right there.
Yeah.
Another name is money for nothing for the Convoy Sale for 3 glorious hours on Puget Sound. The number is 623-1445. 623-1445. It's going to be fun. I'll be there, and I hope to see you there also. You're going to be able to join us a little bit.
I know, I'm struggling, Steve.
Struggling.
I'm working.
You're working. You're working. You're working.
Well, I just wanted to find out, what does this kind of promotion do for the Rainiers when you can kind of turn back the clock and remember somebody in Seattle Rainiers history?
I think it's great for the Rainiers. It's not only great for the Rainiers and for your company, it's great for the region's interest in keeping our baseball heritage alive, and to do it through an individual, focus on an individual, and hence the Rainiers Ball Club is a terrific way to go. It puts emphasis on both organizations. The biggest thing it does is it reminds a lot of people here that we've got a heritage. We've had great players in our past, and it's not just today's superstar. Because a lot of people forget that the Northwest and Seattle has a great heritage. The Northwest is known for football and basketball, and it's great to get out here. You evoke a lot of memories, and it gives you a sense of roots, which is important in promoting any sport. We need all the angles we can to promote baseball these days, and this is a great way to go.
Your best lucky number program voice.
Get your program.
Let's see them. Let's see those lucky number programs.
Hats off to Clay. Great job. Wouldn't be here for what.
Now hold that nice and still for me.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Hey, this is your lucky number to be called. There you go. Listen for your number to be called. You're welcome.
You know,
For your lucky number. Oh, okay. Still good. Yeah. Each one has a different baseball card. Do you want one? Where's lucky number? Hey, you guys like lucky numbers right there.
Hey, show me your baseball card. Is it in there? Is it in the popcorn bag?
It's not going to be Tom.
Yeah, I think it's down here.
You think it's down there? Well, let's see it.
I can feel mine.
I can get one.
So can I? I'm taking out mine. No, I can feel it. Well, I can feel mine.
There it is.
Who's this?
Fred Hutchinson. Seattle Rainiers.
Hey, who'd you get?
He good? Fred Hutchinson.
You know who he was?
Hutchinson.
He's a famous baseball player for the Rainiers. Not bad, huh? Show it to the camera. All right. That's the best one. Have a good time. All right. What do you think of that? Pretty cool? All right. Have a good time at the game tonight.
Clay.
Yeah. Oh, Emmett, hello. How are you doing? Good to see you. You're looking good. So, how you doing? Yeah.
Emmett said he would go out.
You will do that. Terrific. I'm so glad. Well, it was between you and Dr. Bill, and I figured if you fought it out beforehand, neither of you'd have the energy.
I would defer to Bill.
No, he said he wanted you to get first crack. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's a sure thing. I can go tell. I'll tell Scott, and we'll have that announcement.
To be with Robertson, what's the score on that?
Okay, you will be sitting in your seat, and there's a woman who is our media relations person, Amy Campson. Amy will come find you, and she will escort you up there. You don't have to do anything; just wait for her to come get you. That's her job tonight. She'll be here in a little while. Obviously, you remember Fred quite well.
Yeah.
You were friends for his whole life.
We were schoolmates together in high school, and then we maintained a friendship right after that all through our lives.
Now, you were his catcher.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was it like to catch him in high school?
Well, it was like on a rocking chair because he had such great control. You know, he never saw a wild pitch or anything. Every once in a while, he might decide he wants to throw at somebody, but other than that, his control was perfect.
How would you describe his personality, his character?
He was a taciturn, and by that I mean, you know, he was not ebullient and life of the party kind of thing. He was rather quiet, but he was kind of an inwardly very dominant kind of guy. He, I remember, see, we had two very good high school teams in those days, and we won the championship 2 years in a row, and we were undefeated one year, and sometimes the coach was Pop Reed, and if Pop couldn't make the workout, he'd have to go some school business or something, and he'd turn it over to Hutch. And right away, you knew who the leader was. You know, he didn't yell at you or anything. It was just a natural thing he did. He was the alpha dog, and everybody knew it, and they all liked him for it.
Any particular incident that illustrates his character that you remember pretty well from those days or even later on?
Well, I think one that I remember quite well, and I can't remember the name involved in this, but he was managing the St. Louis Cardinals. And there was a first baseman was playing, and he wasn't doing so well. And Hutch kind of indicated to the press that he might make a change, put somebody else in there. So the next night, they all came out, and this guy was back in there. And they said, well, I thought you said you were going to make a change. Fred said, I didn't like the things you were writing about this guy, so I'm going to stay with him. And that made a difference.
It makes a difference.
He kind of slouched along, and he had immense strength and very quickness. And it was just kind of an easy nickname. He got that back east. We didn't do it out here.
What do you remember about how he handled his final year, his final months when he knew he had cancer?
Very quietly. Characteristically, didn't talk much about it. And he went right on managing. He was at Cincinnati then. He went right on managing. And until finally he just couldn't go anymore, you know. I wasn't around him at that time.
Well, thank you very much for coming tonight.
Okay.
And
thanks a lot.
This will be fun. You'll be throwing out the first ball, and we'll get you up into the booth.
All right.
With Bob.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where's the seat? Is it?
It's right behind home plate. I can help take you to it.
If you're not sure, why I'm dead.
I thought of bringing down the Emmett Watson one. Yeah, what's it? Get the needle, Watson. Yeah, the needle. The needle, Watson.
Watson, good
On the, it was on the needle and the needle. And yeah. Well, I hope you like it.
Yeah, here's the loyal staff.
Go
They made their popcorn. No, I'm the one that made the popcorn. I helped.
So you're the main popcorn person.
Me too.
And she's the second main popcorn person.
And he's a cook.
And you're the cook. Good
And
man.
we're smoke free. We don't
Good.
smoke.
This is a smoke-free popcorn producing machine.
But too much precision. You call me and let me know that it's a go. I don't want to bother you. Well,
Here, Tyler.
Go ahead. Hey buddy, let's see your baseball card.
Right now it's probably too late.
Who'd you get?
Red Hutchinson.
You might be able to go down there right now.
He's cool, huh?
You got my hand.
Yeah.
Red.
Jeff Darwinson.
All right, guys, who's your favorite Rainier player?
Red.
I couldn't hear you. Who's your favorite Rainier player?
Red.
Don't ask.
Got it, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I'll take it. Well, popcorn action? All right. I don't need two. I just...
Up. guess your first pitch is going to be happy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, get on the scorecard. Here is tonight's starting lineup.
Grandma, how you doing? I'm Adelaide.
Hey, who's going to win the lucky number program? All right. All right.
Base number 39, Eduardo Perez. A variety of brochures about the Cancer Research Center itself also available at Stick. It is based on Project Choice. The NFL one-time rookie from your door.
We got it. We got it. We made it. We made it. Yes. Okay, how long?
Also, fans, a couple other things I want to remind you about tonight is also a fireworks Friday. Right after the game, we'll have another fireworks.
Emmett, was that the fastball?
Oh, yeah, I rolled it on the ground.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rainier fans, we have taken the liberty here to drawing tonight's KJR Sports Radio $10,000 home run contestant. The name we've drawn tonight is that of Nelson Murray. Now, Nelson, if the player hits a home run in tonight's game, you go through that hole in KJR sign in left field, you're going to win yourself $10,000. Just take for your select grand slam to the card. Drop it on the box here. Your game. We also get some interceptions tonight we want to tell you about. Every couple of minutes we'll have a different interception. All batting numbers are $2 off. Your game is second inning, all batting numbers $2. And scoreboard to see your name tonight. And remember, call for Rainiers office. Instead of your running to a ball game to get in on our special group discount. Also, fans, if you're the owner of a white GMC minivan, license plate 831 GBJ, a white GMC minivan 831 GBJ, that van needs to be moved immediately, folks. It's blocking one of the game. You need to have that vehicle moved. Also, we found a set of keys over the Rockies parking lot. If you're the owner of a white Johnson 210, license plate EXA 408, put them onto that car.
catcher. They've got a front row box seats. I know even the fans are very talented at catcher.
Yeah, they certainly are. When I watch those little girls at the bingo down by the bullpens catching those line drives.
They haven't learned fear yet, have they? Well, apparently there's, I guess, the whole world from the Pacific Northwest tonight, right?
That's correct, yeah. This is a wonderful thing to be doing.
Here's the pitch and a ground ball, hard hit through the hole to right field base hit, dragged up with the ball, runner Green around third. They will allow him to score. The ball goes to the cutoff man Perkle. So Green scores unchallenged in the single to right field by Chris Pritchett. It is a 1-1 ball game. As Green will race garage at second base to score. And with Pritchett on at first, Mark Delisandro now comes to the plate. Because your baseball goes way back into the days of the late Fred Hutchinson, doesn't it?
It certainly does. You see, I taught Fred in high school for 2 years.
Were you as good a catcher as he was a pitcher?
Nothing like that.
He was a very good one, but I do remember the Rainiers signed you, so you did get an opportunity to play some pro baseball.
Well, it was during the war when the professionals were in the Army. I was still here.
Here's Delisandro, the field. Elevated shortstop and third baseman converging. Rodriguez takes charge and makes the catch at the mound. Delisandro pops out and shortstop Alex Rodriguez 2 away, and here comes Dick Schofield to the plate. So Emmett, I would guess that Fred must have pretty much dominated the high school ranks in his senior year.
Well, he did that, yes. But there's one little anecdote I'd like to tell you, even if it takes a couple of timeouts to do it.
Okay.
Back in those days, we had championship teams in those 2 years. And the coach, Pop Reed, sometimes he couldn't get to the practice, and he would turn the team over to Fred. And even then, Fred showed the signs of leadership. He knew he just ran things. He's just a great guy.
Here's the pitch of the curve low outside to Schofield, batting right-handed against right-hander Bob Malacki with a runner at first.
Lucky number.
What are you?
What is your first name?
Just the letter K.
K. Charlton.
No period.
Tell me how you knew Fred. What is your relationship with him?
Well, of course I knew, I watched him play when I was a kid, and then when he came to Seattle as manager, I was trying out for the ball club, and I had been with Seattle for a number of years, and Fred actually, my association with Fred was. He was the one that let me go. I had hurt my shoulder. I had torn all the muscles out of my arm, and I really couldn't throw anymore. And so they made a trade with me and sold me to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I just decided that my wife and it was time for me to get out of the game.
Now, what position did you play?
I basically played outfield, center field and left field most of the time.
Tell me what you remember about Fred, about his personality, about how he handled players.
He was a dynamic person. He was soft-spoken, yet you knew when he talked to you, he knew his business. Fred was a gentleman, but he was full of fire. And he could build a fire under your rear end with just a look. And as I remember, he had a punching bag installed in his locker room or in his office, and rather than take it out on any ball player, he'd punch the bag. I don't know if that's a rumor or not, but I can see where he would have done that.
Can you remember an incident that illustrates that kind of a character? him dealing with you or some other player?
I really can't because unfortunately I wasn't there.
Okay.
This was when we were back at the ballpark on Rainier Avenue. I left the club in Palm Springs.
Okay.
But I would have loved to have played ball for him.
How do you think people should remember him? You know, right? A lot of time has gone by, and they don't really. He's just a name in the record book to some people. How do you think he ought to be remembered?
I wish Ito Vanni were here because he would give you. He's a very articulate fellow, and it takes that to explain. Fred was a leader when he played ball and when he was a manager. He spoke right off the shoulder. Called a spade a spade. Probably there was never a better pitcher than Fred. I mean, he had everything. He had speed. He had brains. He pitched with his head as much as he did with his arms. And again, I wish I could have played baseball for him.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I've been asking several people about what in particular they remember most about Fred. Could you each tell me what your relationship was to him? You played
4 years with him.
Okay, and you?
I got it back once when I was a sophomore at Queen Anne, and we were playing against Fred Hutchinson.
Okay. So you played with him
4 years
at Franklin. What do you remember most about those years about Fred? When you tell people about Fred, what kind of guy he was?
I can tell you so fast it'd make your head swim. He's a wonderful gentleman. He's one of the finest guys you ever want to meet. And he was a fantastic ball player. Those two things. Couldn't ask for any more than him.
Designated hitter number 20, Mark D'Alessandro.
What made him a gentleman? What kind of examples? What comes to mind?
Bringing up. The way folks brought him up. His dad was my doctor. He was our family doctor.
Yeah.
And he was just like his dad. He was just a gentleman.
Now, I understand he was the kind of guy who he wasn't appointed a leader, but he was the leader.
He was a leader.
How did you know that? We're playing with him.
He was a big man. He wasn't small. And his mannerisms, you know, and everything. He wasn't a loudmouth. He just a regular guy, you know. Okay. He and I were in charge of the lunchroom up there in school every afternoon. We had to sit up there and make sure that everybody put their trays away. Hell, we'd sit up there and talk baseball. We wouldn't even pay any attention. Oh, good.
Thank you, Ray. Bob, tell me what you remember most about Fred.
I'll concur with Ray very much on him being a gentleman, and you knew he was there all the time, even though his presence was there. He would never speak out or anything like that. He was very cool, very calm. And one little anecdote that he had, when he threw the ball, he threw up his mouth like this, and when he's ready to pitch. And you could tell when he's going to pitch, because that's just tight as could be. And I never had the pleasure of getting a base hit up and even hitting the ball. But later on at a baseball golf deal, he come around to me, and he didn't know me very well, and a lot of the other fellows were, just were after him to make a point to say hello. He knew my name, and was just a gentleman.
Now, both of you said he was a great pitcher. What made him a good pitcher?
Control.
Well, he was smart, too. Yeah. Very intelligent. He knew the hitters, and he was the easiest guy to play behind because, well, you knew how he was going to pitch everybody. And to give you that little extra jump all the time. I really enjoyed playing behind him.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for coming tonight.
Okay, we've enjoyed ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're just fine, if you don't mind me being so close.
Yeah, you have to speak, but he has a hard time hearing.
Well, you can speak loud, too, all right? Vince O'Keefe, tell me, what was your relationship with Fred Hutchinson?
Well, I was a reporter for the Time. I covered his baseball from the time he played for South State up until he went to Big League. Of course, he remembered all of
high school, so he was always very easy to talk to.
Now, and you covered him for quite a long time.
Oh yes, I knew him from 14 to whatever he was when he died.
Now, he didn't change very much. He was always a serious guy, right?
Very serious. Well, he changed after he got to be a big league manager. He lightened up some.
He did.
But as a kid, of course, he was very serious.
I remember seeing a photo in the paper, and underneath it, it was a photo of him smiling, and the caption said, "Fred Hutchinson, he smiles."
Yeah, that's true.
What's the story behind that?
Well, he just was a serious guy. Had a serious face on him, and I suppose he figured that every ball would be a strike, and whenever he was up, it would be a hit for him.
What distinguished him as a player? What made him a unique player?
Well, I can tell you, as a pitcher, he had very good control.
Very good control.
Yeah, and of course, a big man, he loved to hit. He would have died if he couldn't hit. And he took it to do the game. That's about all I can say. Big, strong guy.
Just one more question. A lot of time has passed. A lot of people don't know Fred except for just his name and his record. How do you think he should be remembered by people?
Well, he should be remembered as a ball player, but unfortunately, everybody associates him more with the cancer research than they do with the fact that he was a good ball player. Of course, that's fine for the cancer center, you can't dispute that. But that, well, they have this award for him if they have it. And it's it evens out. They reflect in both of the ball player and the one Seattle Pioneer stars. He was a good, pretty good basketball player, but the Pop Reed didn't want him playing basketball. He wanted bread and butter cricket.
Wanted to save him for the diamond.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Good to talk with you. I hope we see you at the 20th anniversary.
Oh, okay. I'll try and make it.
Okay. Thank you, Vince.
In the AAA league here.
But I'm interested in, and we've been talking to other people. Tell me how you knew Fred.
Okay, it's maybe through my brother.
You were the bat boy.
I was the bat boy, but I was the water boy and a bat boy for Franklin High School for about 4 or 5 years. Being at John Deere Grade School, which was about 4 or 5 blocks from Franklin. And my brother is 6 years older than I am, and he was in all kinds of athletics, basketball, football, and baseball. Of course, I kind of followed along his footsteps. So I got to be bat boy one night. Well, Freddie and Ray were kind of buddies in high school. They did a lot of things together. And then in the summertime when they played American Legion, I migrated right along with them. And so that's kind of how I got to know Freddie along with Dewey and a bunch of others. Emma Watson and whatnot. They were all in high school and American Legion something like that.
You can speak up a little bit here. You help a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And maybe.
Shortstop number 16, Alex Rodriguez.
You know, there's the Hutch Award that honors the character of Fred Hutchinson, overcoming adversity, the tenacity, and so forth. And you knew Fred. What kind of a guy was he?
Well, like probably everybody else that you asked that question of, for one thing, he was a tough competitor. Over his shoulders, 10 shoulders above most athletes, he was a hard, tough, bad loser. And tenacity. He was, being a pitcher, he could challenge the hitters always and won. He was downright obnoxious sometimes, the way he brought in some of the hitters to get things hit off. But that was the one characteristic that came out that I remember most of all. That he was an aggressive, tough, real tenacious athlete. And he was tough to beat for that reason.
And this is all the way back in high school.
And he didn't have that much stuff compared to a lot of pitchers that he was playing against. And when you were playing against him, you know you were going to have a tough time beating him. Because he'd be after you more than one. But off the field, he was a wonderful person.
All right, Rainier fans, here we go. It's time now to choose our 3 contestants for tonight's Toyota Nine
great guy to be around.
Now, as always, the chance is Toyota sells Tacoma.
6 months before Fred died.
Toyota sells Tacoma.
He was the same as I remembered him when I was a fat boy.
Section 1, the Rainiers dugout out to the right field bleachers. From the dugout out to the right field bleachers. On 3, Toyota sells Tacoma. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pretty good.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
1, 2, 3.
I'm hoping to see you at the 20th anniversary in a couple of weeks. Dave Eskenazi. You're a collector of Rainiers memorabilia, Pacific Coast League, all these Fred Hutchinson photos. How did you get involved in this?
Well, it's just really basically almost a lifelong interest for the past 25 years or so. I've been real interested in baseball, and my interest in baseball evolved into an interest in Seattle baseball in particular, and Pacific Coast League in particular.
Where did that interest start? Talk about, or a little too?
Well, I think a lot of it stemmed from my grandfather on my mother's side, who had a shoe repair shop on 7th and Union across from the old Ambassador Hotel in the 30s and 40s and 50s. That's where all the Coast League ball players would stay, in that hotel when they came to town. He got to be quite friendly with quite a few of them, including Hutch and Dick Geiselman and a lot of the other Rainiers from the glory days, and I just kind of inherited his zeal for the Coast League.
You remember going to Sick's Stadium?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
What are your earliest memories of that?
Well, my earliest memories are just running around like a lunatic, like 7 or 8-year-olds do at ballparks when they can ditch their parents and just, have at it, have fun, and try and find candy and popcorn and ice cream and, watch a little bit of the ball game and go run around some more, to be truthful.
At that time, or a little bit after, when did the pack rat collector bug hit you?
It's genetic. It's coded in. I come from a long line of pack rats, so myself and my brothers, we've always been collectors of stuff, as has my father, so I come by it honestly.
Is baseball the premier stuff you collect?
Yeah, pretty much so. It's my first major love in collecting.
Now, some people get all excited about the major leagues. Why are you so excited about the Seattle minor league history?
Well, I've lived here my whole life, and it's more personal to me. And when you really get into it, the history is as interesting and as rich. I think even more so, but I'm very biased. So,
tell me a little bit of your impressions from stories you've heard from the other guys and just the materials you have of Fred Hutchinson himself. What makes him an interesting guy to study?
Well, I would just say his whole life was larger than life. You know, he started out as just a real serious, but obviously athletically talented young man, and you know, his ability took him very far. And then as he got older and was around people more, he loosened up quite a bit and could still be quite firm, but also could be quite a warm guy and a jokester, and just a real interesting person to learn more and more about, and obviously a very important person to people in general, and particularly people in this area.
Well, talk a little bit about that in the context of Pacific Coast League baseball and Seattle baseball. What is Fred Hutchinson's place?
Well, he has just probably the premier place in the history of Seattle baseball, because he really was the start of the Pacific Coast League franchise for Seattle, the Seattle Rainiers becoming a powerhouse, a juggernaut in the Coast League for years, in that he won 25 games as a 19-year-old, his first year in the league right out of Franklin High School, of course including his 19th win on his 19th birthday, which you've heard 7,000 times in the last few weeks, and was actually sold/traded to Detroit for 4 players, and you know, anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 depending on what story you read. And the 4 players they got for Hutch were largely responsible for them winning the Pacific Coast League championships the next 3 years, 39, 40, and 41. You have to remember that prior to ML6 buying the team, they were the Seattle Indians, and they were kind of a second division, not a real high-class franchise. And so he was really largely responsible for making baseball really big in Seattle in that era.
Now, he had a real impact with just that 1 year, and what was obtained for him after that year.
Right.
But then he went on in Seattle.
And he went on and had quite a major league career, and then the prodigal son came back here in 1955. His old Franklin High and Seattle Rainier teammate Dewey Suriano was then the president of the Rainiers, and he brought him back to manage the Rainiers in 1955, and sure enough, they won the Coast League pennant in 1955.
When you think about tonight, when some of the things we brought back tonight, the old Six Stadium, and just the guys who are here and the family feeling, I mean, is this something that's just history that's past, or is this the kind of thing that's worth reviving, that can live on into the future? What do you think?
I don't think it's just nostalgia from the sense of just saying, oh gee, look how neat it was then. I think those feelings can still exist if we nurture them and try and bring them back. I think a lot of that will have to do with, here's my plug for the new ballpark, getting a new open-air park, and you know, maybe we'll start to have that more of a community feeling again, like they had in those days. It's just more of a big community.
Thanks very much for everything you did for this event.
Sure.
And we'll move on.
Great.
And in terms of not only the people's response here, but what effect it'll have for the center as this thing keeps going.
Well, I guess I feel everybody had a really great time. I saw Dr. Bill Hutchinson, and he was so thrilled to be here and so happy that people were remembering Fred. And of course, we've talked a lot about the fact that it is Fred's spirit that the Hutchinson Center embodies, his persistence and his courage and his tenacity about things, and that's what we are, the way we pursue cancer research. And so that's really important as well.
Do you think these kinds of character attributes and some of the things we brought back tonight, is this something that will have a future have future interest with people? I mean, this isn't just nostalgia, I guess.
I think there's more to it than nostalgia, though that may be the hook that brings people in to start with. But I think we have a tremendous opportunity to do some things with little leagues as well as major leagues and the minor leagues to really make Fred's life stand for something. As the institution that bears his name stands for something. I think that could be just great, and it could create an opportunity then for a whole lot of young people to get involved with the center, which I think, of course, is one of the major goals.
That's right. You talked with Dr. Bill a little bit. What were some of the things that made him happy about tonight, do you think?
Well, I think he was so pleased that people remembered Fred, and that he saw the old friends and he saw the old pictures, and I think it reminded him a lot of some very happy times in his life. And so it was just very personally rewarding, and it's also nice, of course, to see that we haven't forgotten the roots of the center.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Don't forget, right after the game, this is a Fireworks Friday. We're going to shoot the fireworks show for you over the left field wall immediately following the game, so stick around for that. It's brought to us by Pyro Spectaculars Northwest. Also want to remind you that our friends at Tacoma Mall, beginning September 11th, want to reward you just for shopping. You can become a Mall Perks member. Every dollar you spend will earn you points toward 50% discounts on mall merchandise, travel, and a whole lot more. You can sign up for Mall Perks at Tacoma Mall and start saving. It all starts on September 11th. Also, fans, don't forget, this homestand rolls right on through the weekend. Tomorrow, it's going to be Family Feast Night, and then Sunday, we've got an afternoon game, of course, at 1:35, and our final homestand will start next Friday, 1 week from today. Final homestand of 1995 here during the regular season. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Labor Day weekend, as the Calgary Cannons roll into town. Partners tonight, Stock Market Foods and Kickin' Country K106.
Is he in?
Yes.
Darren is famous.
Pass that bell over.
The official ringing of the bell. That was one. Hope the fans didn't hear that.
This is it.
This is it.
This is the official bell. We've rang it twice.
How come you haven't rang it any more than that, for God's sake?
Look at the scoreboard.
We'll have to ask those guys in the white.
Leading off this time for the Vancouver Canadians, second baseman number 9, P.J. Forbes. Hutchinson lucky number drawing. All you have to do is turn to the back side of your Eagle Hardware lucky number program. Here's our lucky number, the final Fred Hutch lucky number. It's 3651. 3651, our final Fred Hutchinson lucky number. If that matches the lucky number on your Eagle Hardware lucky number program, head on down to the fan information booth. We've got a great prize for you. It's a commemorative Fred Hutchinson baseball, sponsored by Thomas Kemper Soda. Head on down to the fan info, and once again, we want to thank all of our friends at Fred Hutchinson and tell them congratulations on their 20th anniversary this year of the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center.
Warming up for the bell.
Be very afraid, by the way.
Be afraid. Be very.
Are you going to do a wrap up before?
Oh, well, that's a good game, folks.
250.
3-1.
Here we go.
That's it. This one is over. The Canadians win at 8 runs on 11 hits and no errors. Your Rainiers 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. It's Family Feast Night, Darigold Family Feast Night. Game time at 7:05. Folks, stick around. Fireworks Friday. Pyro Spectaculars Northwest is going to shoot the fireworks show here in just a couple of minutes. So stay in your seats and get ready. We're going to shoot them over the left field wall there. We are going to dump one side of the lights here, so don't be afraid, folks. And as soon as we are ready to shoot those fireworks and get everything cleared, in about 2 minutes, we will fire the second set of lights and shoot that fireworks show.
Time of game?
250.
Yeah, real quick.